Welcome to the weekly recap. This is your man Big Walk Brady, Mr. Tristan. I got my man Mr. LB in the building with me.
What's going on, guys? How you guys doing today?
So
Trying
happy
to match this guy's energy, yo.
So happy to have my guy here with me all the way out from Canada, down here in the beautiful hidden location. You know, it's a house hidden in the hills. We can't let you guys know where it's at, but super happy to have you here, brother.
Happy to be here, brother. Happy to be alive. Happy to see the team.
So welcome to Weekly Recap, where we just go over the last week of trading and everything that happened in the Discord and everything that happened with my stock life in general. From your perspective, your first week down here with us, what did you see? What did you enjoy? How was the week for you?
Man, I think we killed it this week. But honestly, like sitting around these great traders in the same room and everything, see setups that you would regularly miss. You know, you can't watch everything as one person. So just sitting with my boys, you know, seeing the charts, trading together, it was a fire week. We had a good week this week.
Very glad to hear that. Very glad to hear that. We had a lot of volatility this week. There was a lot of scalping going on just because, like you've been saying a lot, the market hasn't chosen a direction. Tell us a little bit about the scalps that's been going on and how people have been taking advantage of it in the group.
Yeah, so what we have been doing, when the market gives like clear direction, it's much easier to play like swing trades or longer out trades, so we can see like it's a bear, it's a bull market, so we can try to start to take positions, safer positions, months out, weeks out, you know, years out. But right now the market's not really giving too much direction, and then we got that stimulus news that got us to pop yesterday. Obviously, if you look at the SPY chart up here, it just looks completely bullish, like the last 6 days just straight up in a line, but in those days there's been a lot of volatility involved. Went up to all-time highs, pulled back. Today was a crazy day. We nailed a bunch of scalps. It was a good time.
There's also a bit of volatility with Tesla. Do you hop in any of those trades?
I honestly hate trading Tesla. We have some members in here that are really good Tesla scalpers. I just don't like the premiums on it. I don't like how it moves. I'll trade it once here and there, but I don't really like it myself.
Yeah, I got burned on some Tesla this week too. So I got my hands sizzled. I made a little bit, then gave it all back to Tesla this week. So learned my lesson with that. So tech has been up and down this week. You experienced a little bit of a tech wreck and then a little bit of a rally back. How did you see it play out this week?
Yeah, so if you're looking at SPY here, like I said, it looks really strong for the last 6 days, but the thing with SPY is it's very heavily weighted in financials and tech. So what we had this week was a little bit of rotation out of the normal tech stocks that everyone's buying, and we got it into banks and financials and stuff. So that's why SPY is holding up, but the market's still very volatile.
Okay, so you said banks and financials. What are you seeing in the next week? What are you predicting here?
I've been waiting for them to sell off the banks and rotate back into tech, but so far it's just been mini moves, like hours at a time a day. Like we said today, this morning before market open, I was saying I was expecting tech to go red to green and banks to pull back a little bit, just because banks have gapped up so much and they're a little bit ahead of themselves, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But then we got that yield news where the yields were going up, so the banks just kept going up. And now we're just kind of in the middle of no man's land again still.
Bitcoin is reaching close to all-time highs again. What are your thoughts about it? How's it affecting the markets? Is it playing with the stimulus news? What's on your mind with that?
Bitcoin, yeah, so people usually when they're scared of the markets and scared of inflation and policies and stuff, people usually run to gold and silver and commodities, but this time around they're running into Bitcoin. As you can see, we had we don't have the chart up, but Bitcoin, we had a big all-time high, then it pulled back, formed a cup, and it went back to the all-time high. So right now I'm expecting a little bit of consolidation and then it shoots up to all-time highs. Because Bitcoin's on everyone's mind these days, you know.
Are you personally invested in Bitcoin?
I am invested in GBTC, MSTR, and I do have a little bit of SOS.
Ooh, okay, so it plays on the Bitcoin, okay.
Yeah. Just holding them long term though, nothing crazy.
I like that. For those of you who don't know, LB's been a trader for a long time. He actually was in the dentistry industry before coming over here. We're going to make a little bit different of the market recap, more kind of like interview style with my man right here. What do you recommend for people that are just jumping into the markets to make their time most valuable? Like if you put a minute in, you want to get a minute and a half out type of advice.
So what I'm seeing right now is a bunch of people just jump in expecting to make money real quick, you know? They think they just put money in, they'll get 10x their money back right away. Like we have so many people in the chat joining to say like, oh, how can I turn this $100 into 10 grand, you know? And that's really not the game. You have to have time in the market over timing the market, which means you have to pay your dues, you have to learn. I mean, people follow people's callouts, but over the long term, you will not be successful just following someone's callouts. You have to make your own strategy, you have to see what works for you, you have to see your own risk tolerance, how much you can lose. if I lose $1,000 in a trade, I could care less. If you lost $1,000 in a trade, it might be your whole account, you know? So you have to kind of adjust for your own goals.
Okay, so that speaks into Ricky's risk management and everything that Dr. Spreads preaches about, man. I love that analogy though. You got the time in the markets versus timing the market. It's really impossible to see what's around the corner. You got to really be able to see kind of the forest from the trees from that perspective. Yeah. So in the Discord and comparing to other Discords, what do you like about ours and what makes you passionate about My Stock Life?
I love our Discord because it's more based on teaching. We do give out like what we call, like what I'm buying, I will write in there, but more so it teaches new people what they're doing. Like we have so many members that joined right from the beginning that knew nothing about stocks. We do sessions every week to teach them, and all these people, a lot of them, they've surprised me. Like within 2-3 weeks, they're monsters. Like we have Binny, we have so many members, I can't think off the top of my head, but they're like professional traders now. They're killing it every single day, and I love to see that.
So predictions for the next week, what to look out for, what do you see on the horizon, what's going to be hot, what's going to be not?
So yeah, like we were talking about, SPY is built up with financials and tech a lot. So what I'm still expecting is everything is healthy right now. Even though there's a lot of volatility and people are pulling money out of tech, they're not pulling it out of the market, they're pulling it out of tech and throwing it into financials, which means the market will keep going up, and that's what you want to see, obviously. When people are pulling out money from tech and financials, that's when the market will go down. That's what you do not want to see. So you just want to keep seeing money rotating from one to the other, to the other, to the other. And as long as that happens, SPX will keep going up.
Where can people stay on top of the news? I know My Stock Life is at the top of the tongue here, but what do you use personally to stay on top of the game?
We got CNBC on all the time. Obviously, me and the other admins, we have a bunch of paid news subscriptions that we have to get the news first. We have a lot of money for that stuff, so we can get into trades better than everyone else. Usually, by the time the news hits, someone already knows, so we want to kind of be the second person, second tier or third tier in there instead of being the 10th tier like most of the retail trading is. So that's why usually when you see me post news in the group, it comes on CNBC like 5 minutes later, or it comes on Bloomberg like 5 minutes later. So that's what we pay for, and that's why we do it.
Perfect. All right, you provided a ton of value. I can't ask much more from you, brother. I really appreciate it. I think we're gonna jump into Bullish or Bearish and then send this thing on home.
Let's go.
Bullish or bearish?
I am bullish on Baba. What is your reasoning though?
I'm bullish as well, man. I think the gap down was way overplayed, and Biden's talking to China next week, so I think something will come out of that for all Chinese companies, not just Baba.
I hear that too. Yeah, I agree with you with the Biden news and the removal of Trump from office. I think it's going to open up a lot of trade talk and overall sentiment for Chinese stocks, not only Baba, but other e-commerce sites and the Chinese EVs. I think we're going to be on an upswing for that.
100%. Plus I jumped in calls, so I'm biased.
Love it. I'm going bearish on Palantir.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'm going bearish on Palantir. I feel like the market sentiment is overly hopeful for Palantir, and there's going to be a rude awakening. It's just something that I feel. I don't pay attention too close to Palantir, but I've just been seeing so much talk about Palantir, and it has been creating the swing that people are asking for. So I think it's going to be a little bit more consolidation, not super bearish, but maybe just low percentages to the downside.
I can see that. No, but I'm super bullish on Palantir. So Palantir, obviously Kathy Wood and Ark have been loading it up, first of all. Wall Street Bets it's the number 2 talked about stock on Wall Street Bets for the last 2 weeks. Third of all, the only reason it's down is because the insiders lockup shares expired, which means all the big people that owned it before IPO, they could sell. So there's a big wall that they have to chew through for Palantir to go up. And they're just chewing through it every day. Big volume bets every single day coming in, close at the high of the day. Started ripping right at 4 p.m. So I mean, there's nothing to be bearish on for me. I mean,
respected 100%.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, Sundial. Give me the. Yeah, I'm biased. We both got calls on that, but yeah, man. Governor Cuomo is coming out with news of talks about legalization, and I just see Biden eventually going to pull the trigger on the federal legalization for weed. I talked about it last week. But still, I'm still waiting for Biden to pop that news, and then Tilray, AFA, ACB, all these wheat stocks are gonna go sky high, no pun intended.
I agree 100% with you, brother. I've jumped in those calls with you. One thing I loved about those calls is that we gave ourselves time, you know, we gave ourselves a year out. So basically, weed isn't going anywhere. Everyone smokes weed, you know what I mean? And Mexico just legalized it. Cuomo's talking about legalizing it in New York. New Jersey's legalizing it. Canada's already legal. It's just a matter of time when Biden legalizes it for all of America, and once America does it, the whole world's gonna do it.
Well, without further ado, if you guys enjoyed the video, please hit a comment on there. Go on and smash the subscribe button. Hit this video with a like. It helps out with the algorithm. Give us some topics to talk about next week. We'd love to talk about it. LB's gonna be here for a long time, so we're looking forward to dropping a bunch of videos with my guy right here. Anything you wanna add to the ending here?
That's about it. Love the vibes in here. Let's keep it up, man. I ain't leaving.
Sounds good, sounds good. So without further ado, we'll dap it up, peace it out. All right, big guy.
Let's go. Love the vibes, too. Love the vibes in here, by the way, man.
Yeah.
This is a man right here.
I try, man, I try.